This is Fearless Heart.
We are continuing with Episode 5, Traits Narcissists Seek in Victims, with Steve Sapato. This is Part 2.
Are you suffering from a toxic relationship? Is the toxicity wearing you down and keeping you from going after your passion and purpose in life? Welcome to Fearless Heart. Get your power back. Learn to let go and let God. Thank you for joining Fearless Heart Podcast. And now, here's your host, actress, author, entrepreneur, Nadia Sahari.
And here is relationship coach Steve Sapato.
Now, and you got to understand, you said something earlier that was, to me, real thought-provoking, which is you said he knows in his heart that I saved his life. He knows in his heart that I did good things for him. And I'll be honest with you, they don't know that at all.
I don't think
that doesn't cross their mind.
That's
so
true.
when that's where you find a lot of people, like you say, mostly women, but a lot of people defending those people. They're defending their partner. They're defending this person when they know that that person's wrong, but they defend them in front of other people. They protect them because they don't want them to look so bad. And it's really amazing to me how our love and our affection will protect the people who are hurting us the most.
Why is that?
It's something in ourselves, and that's just it. Again, it's a weakness. Most of the time it's a weakness because if you stepped outside, and most of us do at some point in time, we step outside of that relationship and we're like, I deserve better than this. I'm sure you said more than once, I deserve better than this.
As women, we always think they're going to change, and you always have hope.
But you didn't take that back into the relationship and say, hey, stop. I deserve better than this. Okay.
I did, Steve. I did that.
Then why didn't you leave?
Well, because it was my house.
Well, why didn't you throw him out?
Well, I eventually did.
Well, but see, that's just it. The eventuality.
But it took a long time.
1 year, whether it takes you 1 year, whether it takes you 10 years. That's the point that we have to make to the people listening. Is when they walk back in, it's not just Nadia on this, folks. It's everybody. When we walk back in after we've looked at that and said, I deserve better than this, and then we don't walk away from that relationship, well, whether you have to throw them out or you have to walk away from their house.
Yes.
The point is, once you say, I deserve to be treated nicer than this, that should absolutely signal the end of that relationship. But it doesn't, because we are under the spell of the narcissist, where especially if you started to say something like, hey, I'm thinking this is not working out, you would find the narcissist absolutely breaking their back to try and please you again. They would jump back in with both feet and start doing all the right things. And that's important that you understand that when you start to back up is when they will absolutely collapse in and start saying how much they care about you and how much they love you. And they'll go back to that first 30 or 60 days and start treating you like the queen or the king that you are. And you'll go, oh, wow, this feels so good, because it does. It feels so good to be treated and honored like this, and you fall right back in. And then as soon as you get back to that place, right, they're going back to who they really are. And now it might take you another 6 or 8 months to realize or to get back to that place where you have the strength or the power to say, this is over this time.
Yes.
And that's really important that you understand that when you say to yourself, it's like anything else. Imagine if this was a physical abuse situation and you looked in the mirror and saw the bruises, you would say, man, this is not right. But most of the time it's not physical. Most of the time it's emotional and psychological. And so we might say, wow, I must be doing everything wrong. I can't seem to please them. It's all my fault. And when you find yourself saying that, that's not who you were before you met them. You know that.
Yes.
And so that's important that we help the people out there who are listening to this show to say, hey, if I'm saying any of these things, I need to take a step back from the relationship. I need to ask some friends. And that's where, if you've got good, supportive friends, they are probably already sharing with you, hey, Nadia, why are you staying with this guy? Hey, Nadia, what do you find so appealing about this guy? He's rude. He only talks about himself. He doesn't bring anything to the relationship. he doesn't seem to care about anybody else but himself, right?
Right. I've been a life coach for over 30 years. I never called myself that, but that's what I am. And I've been counseling young girls and women for years. But I never heard this word narcissist until a year ago. I've always been strong. Actually, he called me 50-foot woman because I was so strong. And I think it scared him. I was so strong, he was terrified of me. And anything that I did or whatever, he'd say, boy, you're a 50-foot woman. Nothing scares you. And I said, no, nothing. Because when you've been through the life I've been through, if I'm not afraid of anything. And I have a very high tolerance for pain because I've had so much of it in my life. One narcissist, but with 3. I've had 3. So, oh my God. But I didn't know. I had no clue.
So then we have to ask Nadia, what made you so attractive to them?
Oh my goodness. Well, because I'm a giver.
Yep.
And because I care about others. I do things for people. I'm a rescuer. And I rescue. I rescued every man I've been with.
That's right. And understand now, let's take a pause right here so that people can understand that. Once upon a time, my friends looked at me and said, Steve, why are you, they said, you have this wounded bird syndrome. I said, I don't understand what that means. And they said, you won't date somebody unless they need to be fixed. So like the wounded birds, you want to take them and you want to help them grow and get back together. And they said, and then when they get back together, you're not a match at all because they're no longer wounded and they don't need you. And I was like, that's not true. And of course it was true. Mm-hmm. You have to understand, like you say, if we are that person, we have to recognize that in ourselves. Mm-hmm. The reason I wrote the book, the 20 things you need to learn in order to find the love of your life, was because it was all about learning how you need to find the person of your dreams, establishing that in advance before you date anybody, and doing all the right things. And boy, that's important, to finding ourselves first and then finding that person next. And that's vital to our success in any relationship. Amen. Is establishing wonderful connection. Yeah. I always call it friendship on fire. If you can find a great friend and that develops into a wonderful, passionate relationship, you are blessed. That's all there is to it.
Well, here's my belief. I've been working on myself for a year and a half. I've found God again. I love God, and I can't love anybody unless I love God, and I can't love myself unless I love God. So God gives me the ability to love me. I had to learn to love me, and I love me, and I love God. And now I need to learn what I need and want in a partner. And at this point, I don't even want one. So I'm more interested in growing, teaching myself to be stronger, to be the person I truly am. And that's what I'm working on. And I am feeling so great. And I got to tell you, I hate to say this, but this shelter-in, self-isolation is so perfect for me. It came at the most wonderful God-given time for me, because it's helping me to be alone, which is the first time in my entire life of being alone without children, husband, boyfriend, pets, nothing. It's just me and God.
That's a really good point, is that if you've never been alone.
Never.
I remember when I was 19 years old, I went off to the service. I'd never, you always live with your mom and your dad. You got this, you got that. But it was that initial 6 months of training that you were gone from everybody and everything you knew. The first 30 days was like terror, and the next 30 days got a little bit easier. But you learned how to exist without somebody else as, quote unquote, part of your life. And that's what most people do not have. Imagine the people who are trapped with their narcissist right now for these 60 or 90 days. Imagine how their life has gotten even more difficult and how they are even more oppressed and put down.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
well, I've been going through all my life with narcissism, having relationships with the wrong men. But I not only rescued men, I rescued animals. I rescued everything. I rescued a fly. I wouldn't even kill a fly. I always trapped the fly and let him fly away
Oh,
outside.
oh, you're the person who always let that fly get on my food.
I don't believe in killing them. Send them outside flying, and it makes me feel wonderful. Okay, he's alive, and he's enjoying the fresh air.
Then he
And
landed on the cow poo and came back and landed on your sandwich. See how you are.
no, he didn't come back on my sandwich. And now I won't even have a pet right now because it's not the right time. Because
Yep.
I don't want to rescue another pet. I don't want to rescue another human being. I don't want to rescue anybody but me. And God is helping me, and I'm rescuing myself right now. And I'm telling you, I'm having the best time in my life. I getting to
And
know
it's
who I
important.
am.
That's right. And it's important for everybody, especially during this lockdown time that we're in, and even after that, is personal development. What are you reading? What are you studying? What are you looking at online?
Yes.
Stop watching the TV and the sitcoms and start listening to people like the Nadia Sahari show that help you grow and help you become, right? I've got a podcast
Yes.
out called The Happiness Agenda. So if you want to tune into that, I haven't done any training on that for about 4 or 5 months, but you're certainly looking. I was out there for 3 years doing that podcast. So you're welcome to jump in and learn about other people's lives. But that's what you need to be doing now. Are you subscribed to Message of the Day or whatever it might be, which gives you a good uplifting idea or message that starts your day to do work on personal growth. And that's it.
I have an email question. Okay, the question for you, Steve. Is a narcissistic person a healthy person or an unhealthy person?
Oh, well, they're unhealthy because they are the moray eels of the world. They prey on other things, and they'll actually latch themselves onto people and suck the life out of those other people. And so they're unhealthy people trying to survive.
You know, that is true because I got to a point where I was so exhausted. I had no energy. I was sick for a whole year.
Yeah, well, and that's it. You have to take advantage of what you learn out of that. Hopefully, people tuning in will help them friends. If you got a friend who is trapped in one of these situations and may not see it,
That's
just
right.
hey, recommend this podcast or send them the copy of the podcast. Says she gets it out. Just forward it to them and say, hey, this is a really good podcast. I think you'll enjoy it. Don't say you really need this.
That's right.
People won't listen.
That's right. And Fearless Heart is about relationships, all types of relationships. We're going to cover everything. I'm going to have professionals like you to answer questions or to discuss like we are. If I just learned about narcissism a year and a half ago, I know I've already met a few women that didn't even know what that was. We don't know. We never heard of it. So this is really a great way to find out. And thank you, Steve. And before we go, tell people how they can contact you and your social media.
Yep, you can get a hold of me, steve@stevesapato.com. That's my email, steve@stevesapato.com. Or you can just go to my website, which is stevesapatoseminars.com. And we also have, if you go to stevesapato.com, you'll find that you can sign up for one of my newsletters on love so that you can get even more information.
That's great. Well, you know, there's a lot more to talk about, but we're out of time. But I'm just going to have you back again for another topic.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Steve. And take good care of yourself and use this time wisely. I'm doing everything I couldn't do. I'm playing the ukulele and the piano, and I bought 16 Udemy courses. I'm teaching myself how to build websites. I'm learning. Oh my goodness, iMovie, I'm learning more about Pages. I'm doing everything. I'm just having a ball here. I'm dancing in my living room. I'm playing the debeki, which is a Middle Eastern drum, and just being with God. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today and having me on.
You're welcome. I loved it. Shelter in, enjoy, do your hobbies, do things you've never done before. Just to give you an idea, my partner and I took a painting that we were not crazy about, and we redesigned the whole thing. We did it our way, and we made it shiny and glittery, and it's just beautiful. It's hanging in the guest bedroom, And we were so proud of ourselves because we were so creative and we really enjoyed and had fun doing it. So do something like that while you're sheltered in, and it's fun. Enjoy this time with yourself, especially because if you need time alone, this is the time. Use one of the rooms that you have in your home and be alone. And if you are alone and single, use it wisely. Use it to get to know God. Use it to get to know who you are and what you enjoy doing. And it's wonderful. So as you know, or maybe not, I always will quote a love verse, any kind of verse that has to do with whatever we're talking about. And I want to give you this love verse from the Bible. This verse is Proverbs 3:3-4. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Isn't that a beautiful love verse from the Bible? I love it. Thank you so much for listening to Fearless Heart. Did I tell you that you're listening to Fearless Heart? Power, passion, purpose. That's you. Change your mind, change your life. God bless you.
Thank you for tuning in to Fearless Heart with Nadia and her guests. Be sure to download the Nadia Sahari app at the App Store. For more info, episodes, and connections, go to our website, thenadiasaharishow.com. Share episodes with your family and friends. Follow the show on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Instagram. Are you ready to step out of the darkness and into the light? Are you ready to choose you? Be fearless. You have the power, the passion, and the purpose. Change your mind. Change your life. Fearless Heart. It's all about you. Relationship coach Gina Gardner is a best-selling author, motivational speaker, empowerment and relationship coach. If you are a businesswoman who's overwhelmed and tired of going through one disastrous relationship after another, and you've suffered from childhood abuse, it's time to take care of you. You can get the best out of your life. Email Gina Gardner now at gina@genuinely-you.com. Her website is www.genuinely-you.com. Mention Fearless Heart with Nadia Sahari. Contact Gina Gardner now.